Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the 2016 Peter J. Salmon and Milton J. Samuelson Employee of the Year Award nominees.
In 1968, on the 30th anniversary of the Wagner-O'Day Act, the NIB Board of Directors created the Peter J. Salmon Employee of the Year Award to honor those employees who excel in their positions at NIB-associated nonprofit agencies. Named after the late Peter J. Salmon, who was instrumental in advocating passage of the Wagner-O'Day Act of 1938 and the subsequent formation of NIB, this award recognizes the outstanding work ethic and achievements of the people we serve. Thomas Adley, Association for Vision Rehabilitation and Employment.
Sherelle Bailey, Olmsted Center for Sight.
Todd Ayers, Lions Volunteer Blind Industries.
Matthew BAUMEISTER, ibMilwaukee.
Clyde Bittner, Westmoreland County Blind Association.
Someone once said that to want something that you've never had, you've got to do something that you've never done. And for me, being legally blind and working for the Blind Association has been a great experience.
Sam Bonanno, Vision Corps.
Robert Brown, Louisiana Association for the Blind.
Gary Christian, Alabama Industries for the Blind.
Milo Christian, East Texas Lighthouse for the Blind.
Ron Clements, Arkansas Lighthouse for the Blind.
Judy Davis, Lighthouse, Louisiana.
Carol Davis, Lighthouse Works.
Willie Dixon, Dallas Lighthouse for the Blind.
Otis Florence, LC Industries.
Roger GADAWSKI, Associated Industries for the Blind.
Harry Gaffey, Winston-Salem Industries for the Blind.
David Gainwell, Mississippi Industries for the Blind.
Eric Gordon, Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind.
Christine Helvoit, Arizona Industries for the Blind.
I didn't think I'd ever work again because I was losing my eyesight, and I found out that vision loss does not define me.
Lisa Hodnett, Georgia Industries for the Blind.
Melissa Hoppe, Clovernook Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Rodney Hyder, Travis Association for the Blind.
John KEBODEAUX, the Lighthouse of Houston.
Sophia Kipp, Beyond Vision.
Linda Lawson, West Texas Lighthouse for the Blind.
Wayne Legault, Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Jason Lloyd, Bosma Enterprises.
Tanya Manley, North Central Site Services.
ERASMO Martinez, South Texas Lighthouse for the Blind.
Julio Miranda, Best Work Industries for the Blind.
William Murray, Northeastern Association of the Blind at Albany.
Marlies Newhouse, Lighthouse for the Visually Impaired and Blind.
Jonathan Ott, the Lighthouse for the Blind.
Francisco Padilla, Envision.
Jennifer PEREZ, Alphapointe.
David Perry, Cincinnati Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Marco Petrick, Lighthouse for the Blind, St. Louis.
David Phillips, RLCB.
Michael PRIDGEN, Lions Industries for the Blind.
Sharon Richardson, Lions Services.
Lonnie Robinson, Beacon Lighthouse for the Blind.
Patricia Ross, Midwest Enterprises for the Blind.
Melissa Saltzman, Outlook, Nebraska.
Carlos Sanchez, Everest Community Services.
Larry Sell, Blind and Vision Rehabilitation Services of Pittsburgh.
Leon Taylor, Chicago Lighthouse Industries.
David T. Boone, Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired, Goodwill.
Andrew Thomas, San Antonio Lighthouse for the Blind.
Sherry Thompson, Industries of the Blind, Greensboro.
My family, everybody, they're so proud of me. My mother, my children, and even my coworkers to be chosen. It's such an honor.
Kenneth Tucker, Blind Industries and Services of Maryland.
And in memory of Noel Dobbs of New View, Oklahoma. In 1996, the NIB Board of Directors established the Milton J. Samuelson Career Achievement Award. This award is presented to an individual who demonstrates career advancement at an NIB-associated nonprofit agency or in the private sector. The late Milton J. Samuelson, former NIB board member and past executive director of the Chicago Lighthouse for people who are blind or visually impaired, was a leader in the blindness field and an advocate for upward mobility and placement programs benefiting people who are blind.
Curly Bailey, East Texas Lighthouse for the Blind.
Daniel Bailey, ibMilwaukee.
Brian Breitmeyer, Vision Corps.
Charles Carter, Northeastern Association of the Blind at Albany.
While I'm here, I want to help others. I want to be able to have them be able to be independent. That's what I like. I like to see that. I like to see them grow within.
Bo Ellerby, Lighthouse, Louisiana.
John Elzey, Association for Vision Rehabilitation and Employment.
Patrick Engasser, Olmsted Center for Sight.
Joseph Flessner, the Chicago Lighthouse for people who are blind or visually impaired.
Alina Garcia Ravelo, Georgia Industries for the Blind.
It is an honor to me to be selected the Employee of the Year for my agency. I think it's the recognition of the effort, dedication, and passion that I put on my job.
Diana Harris, Alabama Industries for the Blind.
Tim Hatch, South Texas Lighthouse for the Blind.
Regina Henderson, Envision.
Adam Higbee, New View, Oklahoma.
Herbert Humphrey, Mississippi Industries for the Blind.
It gave me an opportunity to do some work that's not only good for myself but also good for the community. And it was also a chance for me to be an advocate for the blind people, not just in Mississippi, but especially here in our local community.
Anthony Johnson, Industries of the Blind, Greensboro.
Zachary Colbuck, Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired, Goodwill.
Jose Martinez, San Antonio Lighthouse for the Blind.
Melissa Merrill, Travis Association for the Blind.
Kenneth Merritt, Blind Industries and Services of Maryland.
Pablo Morales, Winston-Salem Industries for the Blind.
Keisha Orban, Lighthouse for the Blind, St. Louis.
Lisa Pace, Bosma Enterprises.
When I came to Bosma, I hadn't worked for 8 years, and I started as a volunteer. They gave me an opportunity, and doors have opened for me year after year since I've been here. It has changed my life.
LaRue Peters, LC Industries.
Camille Richardson, RLCB.
Chernell Roach, Lighthouse Works.
Samuel Rodriguez, the Lighthouse for the Blind.
Shane Ryder, North Central Site Services.
Marlon Smith, Alphapointe.
David Steinmetz, Arizona Industries for the Blind.
John Wick, Outlook, Nebraska.
Margaret Williams, Lions Volunteer Blind Industries. Congratulations to the 2016 Employee of the Year Award nominees.